iOS 14 came out less than a week ago on our iPhones, and it is massive. There are so many ways to customize and personalize our experience on the iPhone that I am spending like just a crazy amount of time on my iPhone, and I'm really trying to investigate what fits. And I'll tell you that the guidance when it comes to customization that Apple has set is a little bit less than what I would have expected. They're really giving it this free form for you to go nuts. And being somebody who is a software creator and me trying to figure it out, I just cannot imagine like somebody who's just a regular user and how they would get the most out of all these new features. I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to go through what pops out of my head as I'm doing this. Mainly, how we can make the iPhone as efficient for us with our normal day-to-day practices. And the first thing is customization, widgets, and just generally just the home screen. As you're looking at my home screen here, it is not the home screen that we've had for, the last, what has it been? It's been like 13 years. This is not it. This is a whole new home screen. And this home screen is very well done, very well baked, very well thought out. Like I said, getting the discoverability here, it isn't very high, but as far as what they actually accomplished, it's quite amazing. Jumping right in, think about your apps think about your apps as what you really need to see and what you want to live in and day out. That's what you want to think about. I have a lot of apps, but as you see, I've consolidated everything into these two pages. And the reason that I've been able to do it is because of the new Today view. Obviously, we have pages, and then the brand new app library, which is absolutely brilliant. It just organizes everything for you. So why not just let it do its job? If I tap and hold on a widget or any of the applications, I can go ahead and edit that specific widget. I can remove it, of course, and then I can do what I really want to get into, which is edit the home screen. So you see everything. It's that familiar wiggle, except, of course, now there's big chunks of widgets wiggling. And what is new is on the top left, we see a plus sign, and on the top right, we see the done. And then on the bottom, we have our little pagination where you could tap on it now. So these are actually, if you notice, these are pages that I had previously on iOS 13 before the update, and I'm just hiding them. These are applications that I would just have there. They would be organized, and they served its purpose. But now I only need, as you see, the two on the bottom. And this is, again, because of this new design. What you do with your iPhone, you can really make it very efficient and very productive for you with all these things. And that's why I really want to dive into this. So the Today view, same thing. It's all wiggling. This is a great place to think about what you'd want to see when your iPhone is locked. Because this view is accessible from a swipe when your iPhone is locked. So as you see, it repeats a lot of the things that are in here. I even have the same calendar widget here, and it's showing here in what is called the Smart Stack, which I'll go into in a second. The next thing is I'm able to see at a glance, I'm able to see what my calendar looks like. This is a widget that I designed for our company Readdle, and it really does the job of nailing my calendar. Is there anything that's upcoming, going on, or am I just in this free time and I'm able to see it in a very glanceable way? So that is available via Spark, the latest update of Spark. And if you go and as I said, editing the home screen and press the plus, we'll see our widgets that are potentially available. And if we went down into Spark, we'd be able to choose. We have different mail widgets that are very useful, as well as calendar widgets. And you see it right there. Okay, enough self-promotion here. Let's get back to it. Before we go into all the widgets, I want to talk about how I have it set up here for me. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to widgets is where the widget takes you when you click on it or when you tap on it is different than where the widget takes you, or for the most part is different, or it can be different from where the app takes you. So you see here on my second page, I have this Spark widget, again, talking about Spark, and this gives me a high level of my smart inbox. So I have 7 from people, 51 newsletters, and 37 notifications that are new. Now we know that if we tap into the application, it goes into the last viewed screen, which for me, I keep it as smart inbox so I can get this high level view of the 3 main categories in the smart inbox, which is people, separated in my case by accounts, newsletters, and notifications. But what's brilliant about the widget is that it takes you to just a list chronological of all the emails that I have. So think about this. So it's okay to duplicate and have duplicate widgets and still have the apps in here on your home screen if you have dual purposes for them. So it's very useful. Other things, the activity widget that I have here on the upper left, how many times I would be tapping into that throughout the course of the day? I don't have to anymore. I could see at a glance where I'm at with my activity. Of course, the calendar is a pretty obvious one. And then on the second page, I have my stocks, which I check periodically, and the notes, which is absolutely brilliant. It is giving me recommendations of notes to directly jump into, or I can just tap straight onto notes and in the header. But these are the 3 notes that I actually want to see right now, which is fantastic. Now the app library, like I said, it basically it's everything. It's all the apps that you have installed on your phone. When you go to remove an app, it'll ask you, do you want to delete the app? Just move it into the library, which basically it's just going to stay in the library, but it does that. It says that just to make sure you know where it is. Or, of course, cancel, which I'm going to cancel at this point. The way that the app library is organized is it'll show you big icons, larger icons for apps that it suggests that you can jump into, and then smaller icons for apps that you maybe not need to at this time. And when it shows them, it actually shows them in alphabetical order, which is fantastic. So as you see here, Catch Up is the first one and WhatsApp's the last one. Alternatively, you can swipe down and see, love this, finally, an alphabetical list of all our apps installed on their iPhone. Search, get comfortable with it because it's fantastic. If we swipe down from any page, we can search for something. So let's say I'm searching for settings, and this has been completely rethought out. As you see here around the settings icon, it's kind of highlighted, and also inside of the search field it says open. So if I went back and I did search and I did SET and I press go, it would open up settings, which makes it such a faster flow and process. Again, eliminating the need for me to have that app on the home screen. Same thing if, let's say, I was searching for something online. So let's say I was searching for new Doc Martens. So I get suggestions on searches. I get Siri suggested web searches. It goes and searches notes. It's really powerful. Fantastic. And it would go and jump right into Safari if I went on these suggested searches. Very, very cool. All right. Back to today view. Again, you can duplicate things. You can have the same widgets on the same pages and just or the same app on the same pages and have it be different widgets. Just whatever really you want it to make it work for you. For me, the Smart Stack is really neat because it kind of just pops up and shows me what I need to see, or what possibly I need to see based on location and time and last use. And notice I even have time zone widgets here, but for me I use the world clock because the digital times are just less cognitive load as I go into this. My weather, being able to see at a glance my battery, my streaks, which I'm a huge fan of. And then we have one of the widgets available from our company, Readdle, which is the task widget from calendars. And what's brilliant about this is I'm able to see all my tasks, or in this case, it's the medium widget, so I'm able to see 4 tasks, and it deep links to them. So if I tapped on any of these, it would actually jump straight into the application, and I would be able to see that task specifically. It has my date, which, it doesn't have a date. That's actually the count of how many I have today. Going down, have a photos app. Again, I have the same as the stocks, but it's a larger version. It's the medium version. So most of these widgets have different sizes. Stocks, see, small, medium, large. Boom. Fantastic. Keep the last 3 because it's generally what I would be invested in. Yeah, I got caught off there just because I ended up locking the phone, so that shuts off the screen recording. But anyways, back to this. Today view, we're able to see even if the screen is locked, and depending on what your settings are, you can specify how open or private that is. So other things to keep in mind. I have files, so this is kind of cool. I take screenshots on my Mac, and sometimes I need to see them on my phone. So boom, I can go ahead and have this very easily available to me. Also, calendar, or the maps links with the calendar. So I'm able to see what my next destination that I had scheduled, news, and then any of the other widgets that you had organized before show up at the bottom. So I think those will eventually, you'll end up deleting them because they'll get replaced with the new widgets once developers catch up. So let's go more into detailing this widget. So I love this view because it not only has what widgets are available, but it shows you what they actually look like with the data in them, and which is very cool, and it gives you good suggestions. I don't know why this directive one is empty. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. This might be a bug in the app, or maybe because I haven't opened up the app in a while. You see, you have different ones, and of course, as we saw before, we can search for them or see them at the bottom. So that's the new organization with the new home screen and widgets. So at a high level, remember we have this new app library. We can hide and show pages of our previous apps. Keep in mind what you really need to launch into, when you need to launch into it. And that you can duplicate stuff for different purposes. So you can really make it work for you and play around with it. Make it, you have an opportunity to really customize your iPhone in a way that's, secure to you, convenient to you, efficient to you. It makes it a lot of fun. Like I said, I've been on my phone so much more in the last week, just tweaking this and getting this right. My goal was to get it down to 2 pages, and I'm really stoked that I was able to do that. Alternatively, with the app library, you can turn on badges. That's off by default. So if you wanted to go into settings and go to home screen, you can see here it says newly downloaded apps where it actually goes, and then also notification badges. What's cool about the newly downloaded apps is that I like it just go to the app library, do its thing, because the app library has its own folder already set up for new apps, and it doesn't end up opening up or setting up a new page, and I don't need that duplicate because that's what it ends up doing. It ends up being duplicating. So if I had, let me see, do I have any new? I guess I don't have any new right now. Oh, recently added. There you go. Okay, cool. So this would be recently added apps. Fantastic. Spark. I got the new version. I guess this is the test flight version. That's cool for developers too. So we use this app called Test Flight. Whether you're testing apps or you are creating apps, it connects and you can have the betas there, which is great organization. And then enterprise apps, I guess these are other apps for developer-ish things, so you might not see these. Games, which is absolutely brilliant how they do it. So cool. All right, well, thanks for letting me share. Hope this helps. Have fun.